Hey everybody, thanks for tuning in to Los Angeles. Today we're going to look at a historic abandoned Pacific Electric Railway line being brought back to life by the County of Los Angeles, Metro's planned West Santa Ana branch light rail line, which will eventually connect downtown Los Angeles to Cerritos and Artesia by bringing yet another one of our region's numerous abandoned former Pacific Electric interurban rail lines back to life, and could eventually even connect Metro Rail to the terminus of the already funded streetcar being constructed in the cities of Santa Ana and Garden Grove, well beyond the LA County line all the way to the intersections of Harbor and Westminster Boulevards in Orange County. The mayor of Los Angeles, Eric Garcetti, has included a proposal to complete this line as far as Cerritos and Artesia in time for the 2028 Olympics. However, today I'd like to dive into this project a little deeper than has been done previously and actually look at the long-term prospect of connecting Orange County to Los Angeles County via Metro Rail. Now, while I personally have some profound policy disagreements with the Orange County Board of Supervisors on a number of issues, namely approaches to immigration enforcement and homelessness, which I could personally only describe as cruel, but on the matter of how best to reestablish the long-lost light rail link between southeast LA County and central Orange County, one of Orange County's 5 Republican county supervisors has made a point that is absolutely correct and deserves to be recognized. In an article published in the Voice of OC late last year, 4th District Orange County Supervisor Shawn was quoted as saying, "Us doing things one-off and on our own is not a great idea. I think the smart approach is to tie into the vast network that LA has already put a lot of investment in, and that doing so might be a great way to troll for some dough from the federal government." Not only are Supervisor Nelson's comments absolutely correct, money does tend to flow to shovel-ready projects that have already completed the required environmental and social impact studies. They also show that Supervisor Nelson and his staff have actually put some serious thought into this and done their homework, so to speak. Not too long ago, this piecemeal approach that Nelson laments was used to, of course, spend $1 billion in Orange County taxpayer dollars to widen the 405 freeway, which, of course, only made traffic worse due to induced demand, because the primary effect of widening a road is not to improve traffic flow as is often falsely claimed, but rather to actually cause additional people to make the decision to drive in the first place instead of walking or taking transit. If OCTA had taken a more comprehensive, regionally minded approach to reducing traffic gridlock on the 405, they would not have been able to ignore the fact that another $1 billion had only recently been wasted doing the exact same thing to the 405 in Los Angeles County, where it also caused traffic to become even worse. For those of us keeping track, that's $2 billion taxpayer dollars that have been spent just on those 2 freeway widenings, a catastrophic waste of public resources that has not even benefited those who actually have to drive on the 405 each day. But I digress. Through such reckless failures of governance as the harmful and costly impulse to continually widen area freeways, it has become abundantly clear that a more effective and cooperative regional approach to addressing the transit needs of those who commute between Los Angeles and Orange counties each day is warranted. And just as we did with our recent successful effort to improve service frequency on Metrolink by 2028, that's where you come in. Separate and distinct from 2016's Measure M in Los Angeles County, Orange County also has a transit funding sales tax, also called Measure M. If you agree that an ambitious, unified, and coordinated approach to solving Los Angeles and Orange County's shared traffic woes is desperately needed, the Orange County Board of Supervisors needs to hear from you as soon as possible. Specifically, they need to hear that Supervisor Shawn was indeed right to suggest that Metro Rail should be used to reconnect Los Angeles and Orange counties, and that they should take action and seek funding for a Metro Rail connection between Los Angeles and Orange County, using the same historic route as the old Pacific Electric red cars did, right up until the bitter end in 1950. In addition to 4th District Supervisor Shawn who you should absolutely call and thank for suggesting this idea in the first place, Orange County is represented by 4 other county supervisors who need to hear from you that they should help fund an extension of Metro Rail to Harbor and Westminster Boulevards in Orange County. Chairwoman Michelle Steele, Vice Chair Andrew Dew, Supervisor Todd Spitzer, and Supervisor Lisa A. Bartlett. Extending Metro Rail to Orange County would give the two counties of Los Angeles and Orange something to share in common other than bad traffic and good surfing. And such a unified two-county approach would have the added bonus of providing infrastructure-friendly politicians at the state and federal levels with a larger and more politically useful target for future funding. Since, as Metro CEO Phil Washington often likes to point out, government funding tends to flow to projects that have completed studies and are already ready to break ground, because there is practically nothing our politicians seem to enjoy more than a good photo op with a hard hat and a shovel. And who can blame them? Trains rule. So give your Orange County supervisors the opportunity to earn a well-deserved photo op with a hard hat and a shovel. Tell them that you are sick and tired of sitting in traffic on the freeway, and that you demand that Orange County takes action to fund the expansion of Los Angeles Metro Rail into Orange County. As usual, don't worry about which specific supervisorial district you live in. Despite the Orange County Board of Supervisors being quite literally in charge of everything that happens in Orange County, period, very few people actually even pay attention to what the supervisors are up to. So when you call in with a well-informed demand for the expansion of Metro Rail into Orange County, you should expect gold star service from your elected representatives. Far fewer people actually bother to contact these powerful local officials than you might expect. So those of us who actually take the time to call our county supervisors tend to have a disproportionate influence on the supervisors' decisions. In other words, the squeaky wheel really does get the oil. Well, thanks again for tuning into Los Angeles, and of course, thanks to everyone who let me use their stuff. Links in the description. Also in the description, you will find up-to-date phone numbers for all 5 Orange County supervisors right down there in the description as well. Call all 5 if you have a minute, and of course, please like, share, and subscribe. Oh, and hey, one last thing before you go. Those of you who have been following Los Angeles for a while may have noticed that I started a Patreon blog last week, where I've begun posting maps and information about my future videos and activism efforts. The reason I've done this is because after spending the past year or so making videos like this and speaking up for transit improvements at public meetings in my free time, and especially after my Metrolink video and your letters and phone calls to county supervisors resulted in a real legislative commitment to increase the number of daily Metrolink trains on most lines by 2028, it has become clear to me that advocating for improved rail and bus service right here in LA and throughout the Americas is the closest thing I have found to a true calling in life. The problem is, you can't eat model trains. So I've made a Patreon in hopes of being able to commit myself full-time to making videos like this one. Try and imagine a year-round political campaign with no candidate and where everybody has to be respectful of one another, and the only campaign issue is a thunderous demand for more transit and better transit in every place that needs it. That's what I'm going for. So, of course, thank you so much to my first 3 patrons on Patreon, Aziz, Brian, and Robert, for breaking the ice. I hadn't actually expected anyone to notice my Patreon blog before I had a chance to at least promote it in one of my videos. So the fact that the 3 of you hopped on board before even that means more to me than you could possibly ever know. Thanks again for watching. Please join the public transit revolution at patreon.com/Los Angeles. Please like and subscribe.